Dustin, right here. Obviously, things didn't go the way you wanted to tonight. What are your kind of just immediate reflections on how the fight unfolded and maybe what you could have done differently in there?
Man, honestly, similar to Khabib, his movement is really strange. The timing of it is really strange to get his cadence. I wanted to open up more and throw more volume, but he wouldn't. When he would commit to the pocket, he would exit weird. His dips with his head, I heard my corner telling me throw the knee the whole time, but I just felt like I might get taken down off of it. And his movement is just it's kind of awkward. It's a weird timing, so I couldn't get good combinations going. But everything else was what I expected.
You alluded in the cage that something happened in the fight. You kind of stopped yourself short. Is there anything more you want to share as far as that?
Did something happen when?
When you were talking to Rogan, you kind of alluded to something maybe happened in the fight, but then you stopped yourself from sharing too much. Is there anything more you can share now?
I might have messed my ACL up against the fence in the third or fourth round. Before I hit him with the switch, I don't remember what round that was. My knee and my knee bone and my shin bone, I felt slide, and then it started burning. I was telling Mike that through the fence. He thought I was complaining about something else, but I'll get that checked out. It didn't bother me getting off the stool and stuff. It hurt.
Yeah, and I believe going into the fifth round, two judges had it 2-2 and one had it 39-37. Were you aware that it was that kind of close going into the fifth?
No, I thought I was down. I thought I needed to finish. But I knew it could be close. The judge has been in the locker room hearing some of the scorecards were pretty crazy tonight. Mm-hmm. But I thought I might be down just from his riding time. He landed a couple good shots. I landed some good shots. I knew I was bleeding really bad. I'm not sure if a punch shattered my nose or if it was a headbutt, because we did collide heads in the middle of the octagon that flashed me, so I didn't feel where the pain was. I didn't know if it was my forehead or what hit, but that could have, my nose is shattered for sure. And I've had a couple nose surgeries already, and I have some cadaver bone and stuff in there, so I just hope I don't have to go through that process again, man, but I feel like the bone is not where it should be.
Yeah, and of course you were asked about the future in the cage and everything. You've had a little bit of time now to let things settle. Any different thoughts or anything you want to elaborate more on as far as the future?
I just got to see. I was fighting to be the world champion. Like what else am I fighting for? Just to fight for the thrill, because I am addicted to it, no doubt. But like for the money, I'm good. Me and my family are good. I don't need the money. Money's great, but my health is first. And like, what am I fighting for? To be the champion again? Will I ever get that shot? Even if I go on a streak, I don't know. But there's such a tough mountain to climb that I've climbed so many times. I'm 35, and I see people and hear people say that's not old. But I have 50 fights. I've been fighting since I was 17 years old. I fought my first cage fight when I was 18. I have 10 fights that are on my record. I have, and I've been in a bunch of battles. At some time, this is going to catch up to me. Obviously, I just fought the pound-for-pound number one guy, and every time I got off the stool, I felt like I was going to win this fight. I remember thinking, getting off the stool, I'm going to be the world champion tonight. I felt it. So I just got to see. I beat a young guy last time out. I just competed with the number one pound-for-pound guy and felt good doing it until the end. So I just got to see. I can still compete, but I don't want the sport to retire me and squeeze me out. I don't want to be one of those guys hanging on. I just honor and respect this too much, and we'll see. I don't know, but this could be my last fight.
Yeah, and I know you like to go on the vacation with the family and everything, and kind of have your post-fight process. How do you when do you ultimately think you make a decision?
It's I just got to digest everything, talk to my family, talk to my coaches, and see. There's no rush on it. But this could be my last fight. I don't know. I just got to get home and see what I'm fighting for.
Well, whatever you decide to do, you're a legend and an asset to the sport, and I think everyone here appreciates everything you've done. So thank you so much.
Thank you, man. And I really felt like going into this fight, I felt like whatever was going to happen is destiny. So whatever's going to happen, I can't control the outcome, just the process. So I try to enjoy the experience and the process of getting ready for another fight and walking out here to a crazy crowd and just the rush that comes along with that, And I enjoyed tonight. I did. I enjoyed it.
Based on that enjoyment, if this was the last one and it was an amazing performance by yourself, would you be content with going out on this one?
That's the problem. Tonight, if I would have won that belt, I would be content with everything I've done in the sport. It's just I didn't get the ultimate goal. The reason I started fighting was to be the world champion, undisputed, and I didn't get it. I don't know. I don't know.
We've heard guys in the past, like Alex Volkanovski, for one, struggle with not competing, right? They think they're ready for it, and then he gets a prolonged break, and then suddenly realizes there are demons that he's not dealing with very well. Are you set up for a life post-fighting, or is that going to be a period of adjustment for you?
No, I'm staying busy-wise.
Yeah, or just like not having the competition in your life anymore.
I don't know. I don't think anything will ever fill that void. I don't know what could fill that void. I'm busy outside the octagon. I have a lot of things going on with my foundation, with the businesses I own. I'm always busy, but nothing fills that void of competition that I've been doing for so long. The pureness of it, the one-on-one combat, the preparing myself. But fighting is such a selfish sport, man. And I've taken away from the people I love by focusing so much on myself and trying to master this craft. I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff to weigh out.
Do you think, how much of an input will you want from your family? Like if they say, look, we'd rather you quit, will you listen to them and just go with what they want? Or do you think I've still got life and a purpose I want to serve as well? Like how does that conversations go?
I know the answer to they want me to stop. But I know I can still compete with these guys. I just got to figure out what I'm fighting for.
Last one for me, sometimes we see guys change weight class or they'll wait for the UFC to offer them a big money fight or against a legend of the sport, something like that. If there was anything that you think like, okay, like I'll do these one-off special fights, or do you need a purpose of like, no, if I'm going to keep doing this, then I'm setting a goal, I'm going for that?
Yeah, it would have to be a goal, something that's hard to get, not like a big money fight and stuff like that. It has to be a goal. And switching weight, like, dude, I make 155 no problem.
If this is the last one, I just want to say thank you for a great career, man.
Thank you so much, man.
It's been brought up that you tend to learn from your losses. You take away something from it. Not this one, but from it seems obviously you did a hell of a lot better against Islam than you did against Khabib. What did you learn from the Khabib fight that you think you were able to do excellent well, in the takedown defense and the wrestling gear?
Honestly, Islam, the things I learned against Khabib that I've never felt before, Islam did a lot of that and got me down with it, with the foot sweeps, with the balance, him switching where I needed to post to stay up. Those guys are good, man. They're good, and they have an understanding of weight distribution and where you need to be. He swept my foot a few times. And I brought that into this fight, and I still got taken down with that stuff.
On a perhaps maybe not quite so bitter note, because it's not this, but this is an older fight. Did you perhaps learn something from, say, another loss, maybe like the Chan Sung Jung fight? Many, many years ago, it was a close fight. He ended up winning with the Darce. That was years ago in the WEC. Did you ever learn anything from that?
That was 12 years ago. Yeah, I learned that I can climb back. I learned that I can count on myself to rise up again and put together a win streak. And I know that about myself. I can do it again, but do I want to go down that road? Because it's a tough road, man.
And last question for me. You had a lot of success, it seemed, with body shots. Were you surprised it didn't really seem to phase him quite as much as you were hoping for, maybe?
Only good body shot I landed in the open was a right hook to the body. Against the fence, I was ripping his body, but they weren't thudding like they needed to really hit those organs. They might have sounded good, but they weren't thudding. The one in the open was a good shot. But also I'm throwing right hands to his left side. I need to be touching the liver,
Just in the front, right here. You talk a lot about mentally wanting to be back in these fights and everything like that, and the mental toll it takes. But physically, are these wars starting to catch up to you on this, or do you feel as fresh as you did, say, 5-6 years ago?
I think age. In training camp wise, I still feel the same I felt when I'm healthy and fighting out here, because my body's healed up. But training camps definitely, I can't do 2-3 a days hard. I have to do one live day, one technique day. One day just focus on techniques. One day I can go live. I can't do live days where I'm doing 2 a days like I used to. I used to be able to do that no problem. Now I carry the bumps and bruises from training camp a lot longer.
And they showed you talking to him in there, and at one point you guys went forehead to forehead at the end of one of the rounds. What were you saying to each other between rounds?
I don't remember. I was just telling him he's the champ. You know, congrats, you earned this. You're the best in the world.
It also showed you talking. It looked like you were talking to DC and Rogan at one point when you were against the fence. Do you remember what you were saying to them?
Yeah, I was telling him, man, this guy wants to grapple. He don't want to fight. He don't want to fight. That's what I was telling him. I was trying to elbow him. He didn't want to, but he wanted to fight, but he was just trying to slow it down too much. I wanted to brawl with him.
Last one for me on that. We saw you and Khabib kind of hug it out too in both the octagon and back here. What words did he have to say for you?
I think he said I'm a legend. I'm a great fighter. They have a lot of respect for me. And I have a lot of respect for those guys too. You know, Khabib helped me out with my foundation when we had a big goal, our first huge goal, and we swapped shirts, and we ended up raising a lot of money to buy land and build water wells for the Pygmy people in Uganda. So that was like the first huge goal we ever accomplished. And without Khabib and Dana White matching what Khabib donated, that would have never happened.
Dustin, what flavors we got on the table with the hot sauce?
We got the Creole Maple, the KO, and the original, the OG. I got a box for you if you want to test them out.
Maybe. I appreciate it. Dana White was in here talking about they have a BMF in the works. You fought the winner twice, 2-0 on him. Is that something that spices your life up?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to see. Max is a tough dude, man. I'm a big fan. Got a lot of respect for him as well. He's a good dude.
And finally, sorry, Nolan. What are your thoughts later this month, McGregor, Chandler?
If Conor comes back anywhere similar to what he was before the injury, I'm talking timing-wise, his rhythm, I think he knocks Chandler out. Obviously, I fought them both. I fought Conor 3 times. The way Chandler covers distance with big movements, against a guy, a sniper like Conor, you're going to run into something big, and you can't take those shots. You know, Chandler's had a long career. He's been hurt a lot. I'm not saying he's chinny, but I'm saying you can't cover distance with a sniper like Conor. If he's like he was, he's going to knock Chandler out.
Dustin, right here. At the press conference today, the face-off, there was a bit of an exchange with you and Islam, and I know you apologized to him the next day. I guess what in a sport where getting inside your opponent's head at all costs is kind of part of the game, why did you feel the need to kind of to break that and make sure you guys were cool going into the fight?
No, we didn't have to be cool. I just wanted him to know man to man I would never speak about his family. I called him motherfucker at the press conference. Like I didn't plan to call him that. It was just he was in my face saying he was gonna do what he did. and I just said it. And apparently in Dagestan they take the literal meaning of motherfucker. And I would never, that's not in my heart to speak about somebody's family. I don't know this guy's family. I wish him and his family the best. You know, I just wanted to tell him that, like, hey, it just got lost in translation. I would never speak about your family. But
Dustin, sir, over here. You spent in the first 3 rounds around 6 minutes with Islam in your back, and you got up, and the crowd loved it. And by round 4, some people even saw that you were kind of getting in the groove, maybe even breaking him, blocking all of his take shots. By the end of round 4 in your corner, did you guys feel that the game plan was working?
yeah, but they wanted me to be busier. And then by the time the later rounds came, we thought we might be down. We needed to finish. And I didn't open up. I should have opened up. You know, looking back, it's always easy to say what you should have, could have done. But in the heat of the moment, his timing was weird. I was trying to take chances. I heard him calling for the knee. He was dipping. I didn't do it. I thought I might get my legs swept or him grab a single. There's a bunch of things you can break down and wish you would have done different. But every time I got off the stool after each round ended, I felt like I was, okay, I'm getting my momentum. I'm getting my groove. I'm feeling good. You know, but that's fighting.
Thank you, sir. It was a legendary fight.
Thank you, sir.
Islam right here. Oh, Islam. Sorry, Dustin. What do you think about Islam trying to training with Charles, the wrestling?
It would be great for Charles to get out there and feel those guys' pressure, wrist control. Their hips are very strong. Yeah, I think it would help him with his wrestling, no doubt about it.
Dustin, I just wanted to have one more for you. You know, you said about Khabib calling you a legend, Joe Rogan's calling you a legend, everyone's calling you a legend. For you personally, do you feel like a legend? Do you believe it when people talk to you? How do you feel now, you know? Because you came short of winning the title, but you've been around forever, you've had all these achievements. How do you feel about yourself in your career?
I still feel like I want to be the world champion, you know? Like that stuff's all cool. And I hope people do look at me like that. I've done a lot in sport. I've had some crazy fights that I'm proud of, but I really want to be the world champion. That's what hurts. But I'm proud of everything I've done in the sport. I'm proud of the comebacks I've made, the improvements I've made, my discipline to the craft. This stuff isn't easy, man. This stuff isn't easy.
Dustin, back here. With that being said, and you've acknowledging that this could be it, I know this is what you do, but if you elected to get back into the octagon, just how tough would that be to mentally lock back in when you start to think, okay, this could be the end of the road?
I mean, I just did it preparing for this fight. When this fight came around, I was like, okay. Because when I fought in Miami at 299, I kind of thought like, this could be this could be the end. But I still feel good in there. That's the problem. Preparing, like if I decide to fight, preparing is that's when I feel normal. That's when everything in my life feels normal because I've been doing it so long. It's the opposite side of that. Not preparing is what scares me. Thank you, guys.